Hi, Cal. Natalie, alright? How are you? Very good. You alright, lads? Yeah, good, thanks. Morning press conference, eh? I think it's a first for me, this.
Is it?
Well, this early. It's like that. No, nothing in it. But yeah, I always drop you in it, don't I?
I think it was a mutual decision.
Well, you two. Yeah, good.
Right, Daniel.
Yeah, Dan.
Good morning, Steve.
Yeah, Dan, you okay?
Good, thank you. Just want to start with asking how Nico Williams is.
Yeah, no, obviously not good. I think everybody saw the collision on the pitch and stretches off. You always fear the worst, and unfortunately, it's bad news. Obviously, with a fracture of the jaw, so he's had an operation which has gone well in a difficult situation for him, and rules him out for the season. And now he's on the road to recovery. So yeah, difficult situation for him. Got himself back into the team recently, and was doing well, playing really well, and had a confidence about him and a spring in his step. And yeah, it's a blow for us, and definitely a blow for him as well.
And in that Brighton game, Musa Niakate came off with a hamstring after 15 minutes. How is he as well?
Yeah, we're still a bit inconclusive with that one, so we'll have to see with regards to tomorrow. But I think he definitely did the right thing, because he felt something in the game, and we were able to make the change. But with regards to the extent of his availability, we'll have to wait and see on that one. With
Musa and Nico, as well as all the other injuries got recently, it must be really frustrating, especially after such a big win, that you're not able to maintain the consistency.
Well, it is, but there's no point in focusing on it too much. We want the boys with injuries to be healthy as quick as possible, of course, and particularly with the last couple with Scott and Nico that have been contact injuries and then fractures. So that's unfortunate. Nothing but unfortunate. But yeah, it's been a bit of a story, isn't it? Injuries, but like I always say, we've got a game to play tomorrow, and we've got to go into the game focused on the game plan, focused on what we think it takes to do well down there at Brentford, which will obviously be a tough game, and not be thinking too much about the lads who are not with us, and that's just how it has to be.
On the positive side of things, the win against Brighton, I imagine that's given the squad and everyone here left as well. Yeah,
obviously, winning was a long time coming. Getting a win, we spoke quite openly about the run that we were on. It's nice to say that we were on. Put a stop to that, and we needed the win, of course. The time of the season and everything else. Wins can be so hard to come by in this league, and it was just great to get what we've all been working really hard for. But it's gone now. Obviously, we take the points and accept them gladly, but we really now got to focus. So it was always going to be a tough week physically with the 3 games, and particularly this sort of Wednesday, Saturday, and travelling. But we're motivated to go down to Brentford now, and hopefully try and take any positivity from Wednesday night into the game, because once again we're going to need absolutely everything to go right to get the result that we want.
And looking at that Brentford game away as well, is it taking aspects of the Brighton and the Liverpool game at Anfield into that game too?
Well, you're always looking to build on good things, and momentum's only momentum if you keep good things going. So that's obviously an intention, but yeah, we training ground yesterday, lads were sort of obviously it was great coming off the pitch winning on the other night, but I quickly saw a change in focus and getting ready for Saturday, because we knew how quick it was going to come, and saw a real sort of good focus yesterday in the boys. Haven't seen them yet today. Training a little bit later, but I'm sure that all the boys are doing now, and myself and the staff included, is just looking forward to tomorrow. And if we can go there with knowing that we did some good things the other night and even the game before, then that will help in terms of trying to repeat that and more, because we're going to need it being away from home for Saturday.
And just finally from you, Steve, Jonjo Shelvey. Could you just expand on maybe his availability? I know you mentioned it earlier this week.
Yeah, no, Jonjo's available. It's he was carrying a knock last week, and there were one or two other things. Wasn't as much of a drama, if you like, that was written about and said. In some ways, a normal training ground thing, but it's past us. Everybody's good, and now we are looking forward to going to Brentford.
So is he available?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Thanks, Dan. How are you?
Okay?
Nice, you alright?
Yeah, it's not too bad. On paper, Brentford away from the outside looks really, really easy. But how tough is this going to be because of what they've done down there? You know, they've only lost twice.
Yeah.
It is a hugely big task on your hands, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm glad you said big task rather than easy game, because you know, like, there is no easy game. There's no easy game in any sort of professional league, but certainly in this Premier League. Now, Brentford have had a fantastic season. They deserve a lot of respect and credit for their continuous progress that they seem to make year in, year out. We talked about Brighton being a team that sort of or club that seems joined up and making progress, and I think Brentford's another really good example of that. And so when you go to their stadium, then you have to go and play all of that, you know. And so yeah, this is going to be a really tough game tomorrow. They got some really good players, one of the best strikers in the league, and lots of other really good players around it as well. So we have to be aware of that. We are, and go there with a plan, you know, again, that we think we can serve us well. But no, we're under no illusions that this is a really tough game tomorrow. You can just see where they are in the league and the results that they had and the teams that they've beat. They've just beaten Chelsea away a couple of days ago, and no, it's a game that we've got to be so ready for, and you know, we're going to have to give more than what we've given before, certainly on away games, to get what we want, and we're under no illusions with that.
Any kind of positive result following on from Brighton would be a huge boost, even if you were to get a point down there in the current circumstances.
Well, you always go there. You always go to a game wanting to get a positive result, and there's obviously a lot of scrutiny now on the games, and rightly so, because of the time of season and games running out. So the context to us as well is away form. We're desperately trying to turn that around, and we speak openly about it, not shy away from it. Although I've been saying that for a while now, but I will continue to say it. So yeah, any positive result is exactly that, positive, and that's what we've got to go there for. But like I say every week, we've got to believe that we can do that. We've got to believe that we can get what we want out of the game, because that's a lot of the time where it starts and ends, is with mentality and approach and preparation, and then delivering on a match day. So you know, we have to take all of that down to London tomorrow.
And you mentioned, obviously, Ivan, a lot of focus on Ivan and Tony, but you know, around that, Thomas has got a hugely talented squad. What do you do to sort of combat their strengths and impose your game? Yeah,
no, you're right. Ivan Toney's right up there, isn't he, with the most dangerous number 9s in the league. There's no doubt about that. And like all of these teams that you come up against, they do have real serious threats, and you have to be aware of it for sure. And in a number of ways they can attack as well, Brentford. But we're aware of it, and obviously it's one thing being aware and another thing dealing with it. But we've also got to go there with the confidence of what we can bring to the game as well. And that's when I think about any games that we've done well in. Obviously, where you get the results are the main ones, but even sometimes where we've had performances that we've liked as well, it's largely been on what we've brought to the game, and that has to remain to be, you know, a big intention for us.
And just finally, from you, from a coaching angle, the job Thomas has done there, getting them from where they were to where they are now, it's remarkable, isn't it? Well,
like I said, you know, they deserve a lot of credit, Brentford, for the continuous progress year in, year out, and you know, having Thomas there as the coach obviously has been a massive part of that, and like I said, you have to admire it, and that's why tomorrow's going to be really tough. So yeah, like I said, Brentford have made a lot of progress. We respect that, but our focus has got to be on ourselves and looking at what we can do tomorrow. Thanks. Hey, Natalie.
Always been very level-headed throughout everything, but how much of a difference has getting a win made just around the place this week?
Well, obviously, it's there's positive feelings that come from a win. I wouldn't say that we've ever got too low after losses. Obviously, we haven't come skipping into the training ground, but at the same time, we haven't come in sulking either. Like you said in the question, we want to stay level through positive and negative results, because in the end you've got to look forward to the next game. But for sure, it was just great to get the win the other night. But I think where we're just focused on now is just trying to build on it, And I don't want winning the other night to feel like sort of the end of something. I want to look at it and let's make it the start of something. And that's, if we can take that into tomorrow, then I think that's a better sort of mindset and focus, rather than thinking, okay, we're at a winless run. We've stopped. Rather than saying we've stopped that, let's look at saying let's try and start something. But we've got to go make that happen tomorrow, and it's an away game, and the colleagues before we know how tough it's going to be. So let's just focus on the job in hand, and that's the key as well. Just focus on the performance, focus on what we can control, what we can determine, and that's what we give to the game, and that's where we're at.
With the injuries and the changes and everything that's going on, is it difficult? It must have been very difficult for you every week when you've got a big game like this as well to get prepared and pick the team.
It definitely hasn't been straightforward, but coaching is always a challenge, and there's your ideals of what you'd like, and there's always the things that get in the way of that, and sometimes it's injuries, sometimes it's suspension, sometimes it can be something you see on the training ground, opponents, etc., etc. So there's always obstacles in the way of getting ready for the next game, and that's just coaching, really. That's just coaching, is trying to look at everything for what it is in the present, and come up with a plan within the way that you believe you should work to get ready for the next game. So yeah, we know that injuries are quite an obvious thing, an easy thing to mention and talk about because of how many we've had, but it's just not something I want to think about too much. Obviously, when I see someone get injured, I'm desperate for him to return, and Musa walks off the other day, and the first thing you're thinking after the game is, I wonder how long he's going to be out for, if at all, and you want boys back available. But once you get into the preparation of the next game, it's just on the guys who can play, knowing that the guys who can't are well looked after, and concentrate on the game. So yeah, no excuses on injuries, there never will be. Just get on with it, get to work.
The performance at Liverpool and the win at Brighton, how much confidence has that given you and perhaps the team that you can stay up? Well,
we'll see. It's always about the next game, and confidence is easier to build after positive things, results and performances, whether that's as a team or individual. Things like strikers scoring goals or goalkeepers making saves or keeping clean sheets, which we haven't managed to do, but they're positive things, are the sort of things that sort of build confidence. So we hope that that's the case going into tomorrow, but as always, don't take anything for granted, and go and make it happen. And like I've already spoke to the players about it yesterday, they said the same, and I've said this before, every time we've come off a pitch having got a result that we've been happy with, we've had to give everything, so tomorrow is about not just giving everything, it's giving that and more, to get what we want. And, because of that, 100% focus.
I wonder if at the start of the season people have said with 5 games to go, you'd have been out of the relegation zone as a newly promoted team. You would have thought, wow, that's great. I'm here, we've got 5 games to go, and we're out that relegation zone. Would you have taken that at the start of the season? Is it about mentality, perhaps?
Whether we would have taken it or not, I don't know. But this is the situation we're in, and it's an exciting time, although it can be seen as a tense time as well. I think we should look at the situation not with fear, but with opportunity. To go and do something brilliant, and that has to be the mindset. Don't go into the next. Well, we're just thinking about Brentford at the moment, but the next set of games in fear of negative things. Go in hope of good things that can happen, because I think that gives you the right mindset of attacking the game. So let's be positive about the situation. We know how quick things can change, good or bad, and we're aware of that. But this is what this elite sport, this is what the Premier League is all about. It's about being in situations at this time of the season where you've got everything to play for. And I know so many players, supporters, staff would have given anything, this time last year and even the year before, and etc., to be in a situation like this. So like I said, look at the situation with real optimism, real positivity on what we can do, rather than thinking the opposite. And I really felt that in the stadium the other night with the supporters and with everybody, really, the players, the staff, and the connection around everybody at the stadium was really, really powerful. And that's the sort of optimism that we need to have. I know it was a game we were losing up until just before half time, but I know it was a game really where we were getting the result that we wanted, particularly when we went 2-1 up, and that does breed positivity. But I really felt like that would have been the atmosphere, whatever, and that's really helpful. But it just shows that when you do have a real sort of positive mindset and you look at what you can do, then maybe good things do happen. But we've got to make it that way.
Just finally from me, at Eastman's today, we're huge fans of Sam Perkin.
Yeah.
Fan. I know you've actually become great friends
yeah.
with him. Have you spoken to him this week? Because he's had a big week going to the marathon, and he's met the Prime Minister, and he's been in London as a Parliament, all this stuff while living with MND.
I know.
Does his sort of positive attitude, as you've become a sort of friend with him, does that help you with your mind? Yeah,
no, definitely. He's become a bit of a big head as well, getting on the telly and that all the time. Yeah. No, amazing. Like I said, he is a friend, and speak to him regular, and what an inspiration. And I think I said that the last time I was sat here in such a what could be difficult situation, to have such a positive mindset and outlook and a mentality of what he's going to do rather than what he can't do is an inspiration. And because of that, it's hard to feel sorry for him when in a situation we easily could, because he doesn't want that, So yeah, doing amazing things. I think it's great that he's getting the recognition, particularly off the likes of you guys and the support locally that you give him as well. Let's not forget what he is doing. He's raising a load of money for charity, and that's not easy, and he's doing it in not an easy way either. So like I said, it feels a bit strange talking openly because I speak to him all the time. So it's not as if I'm sending him a message or anything. It's good that lots of people are really aware now of the good work him and his family are doing, because they really are amazing people.
Thank you. Brilliant.
Thank you.
Hi, Steve.
Oh yeah.
Just on Jonjo, was he locked out on Wednesday because of what happened last week?
And a knock, to be honest. So like I said, it's I respect the questions, but sometimes things are not exactly what they are. And we have to accept that that's the case. So everybody's good. We're looking forward. He's really well liked in the dressing room, and we need everybody. We need everybody in the situation we're in, and injuries that we're picking up and things like that. But there's no ill feeling in any way, shape, or form, regardless of what may or may not been said. And we just need everybody to stick together and get behind everybody. And that's what we're doing.
Have you allowed yourself to think about how many points you might need? Few games,
you sometimes look at it a little bit, and then you go off in all sorts of tangents, and then I say to myself, I'd leave it to other people to tell me, and just focus on, at the moment, Brentford, and what points we'd like to get out of that game, and would be helpful. So of course, with so few games left and getting that way, then scenarios become a little bit more clear, and that will be the case, you know, obviously as the games get ticked off, even more clear. So but you know, day before a game, you know, we're not thinking about too much about what points we'll do. Let's think about getting the points, and that's going to be really tough. Top man, thanks. All right, mate.
Hi, Steve. Just a few follow-ups from myself and Nathan. Results last night meant, of course, that you stay outside the bottom three. I know there's still 5 games to go, but is that a psychological boost for you and the players at all? We're really happy that we got our win the other night. That's if we're looking for anything psychological, it will always be on us, because we want to be a team that we want to be in a situation where what happens is determined by our own actions and not anybody else. Okay, there's things away from yourself. If they go your way, then great. But you know, we don't want to have the mindset and the mentality of being 100% reliant on that. We want to take care of our own business. So, yeah, no. If there's anything psychological from the week that we're happy about, it's just our win. You know, because you've seen how quick things can change. You know, for better or worse. So, yeah, just stay on track, stay on task, look after yourself, and do what it takes to try and get the result that you need. We've had an update on Nico and Niakate. Is there any other injury news? Any other updates you can give us on Thursday?
Nottm obviously had a really bad bang to his shoulder, so we'll see where he's at, and yeah, just normal fatigue really. You know, with the 3-game week, and we're only not even 2 days after the last game, going into a game tomorrow. So we've got to consider all of these things going into team selection.
And just finally, on the pitch against Brentford, what are you expecting? What are you expecting to come up against from your perspective?
Well, a real connected team that know how they play, and a lot of players that have been obviously at the club, and the manager's been at the club for a long time, so they have that real sort of continuity and rhythm in the team, and they always add wisely with the transfer windows that they do. So that can be a difficult thing in itself. You know, coming up against a team that just know each other really well. I'm sure confidence is high after the result the other night, and just the season that they're having. And in amongst all the sort of way that they play with the tactics and everything else, they got some really good players. So yeah, we're fully aware of that. But as I've said before, we've got to, while being aware of that, look at how we can have the impact that we need to have in the game. Because I go back to every time we've had a positive result, I always look at it and think it's about what we've done as opposed to the opponent. And we need to do that tomorrow for sure.
Best of luck.
Thanks, mate.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Cameras off, please. Written.